In today's video, I will be giving you the settings I use for competitive Hourglass. These settings are what I personally like and use, so feel free to try them out and see if you like them yourself. There will be timestamps in this video so you can hop around to whatever settings you would like to see. Enjoy. The first thing we're going to be talking about are keyboard and mouse settings. The only thing I really changed in this is that I have my throwables as 4 and I have my food as 3. And I changed it to where my wooden plank was my mouse button, and I also have my bucket as my mouse button to make it easier to bucket and get out my wood as quickly as possible. For input settings, I have all of these off. I have my mouse sensitivity is 1.1. I have 1200 DPI on my mouse, so this is different for everyone. So you can do whatever you're comfortable with. I have 10 for all the weapons. And obviously, I don't mess with these because I don't really use these weapons. And the rest is all controller settings, so that is it for input. For gameplay, I have reduce hold interact off. You can turn this on. This is really good if you're a cannon. It would be like if I had this on and I have a cannonball, it's a lot easier to just tap and load it while moving around than having this off, because I'm only tapping once for this. But I'm not a cannon, so I don't really use it and I don't really like it. Because it can cause you to, like, if you just tap anchor, it can cause you to accidentally lower anchor, and I just personally don't use it. But it is really good if you are a cannon. And I have the rest of these off. I have auto center camera off. Then I have, you see, I don't use the controller, so that doesn't matter. Automatically float in water off. Show tall tales on map on, off, on. And those are the gameplay settings. For my HUD, I have toggle radio menus off, sticky radial items on, fixed position for interact props off, recenter mouse and menu on, circular navigation off, circular navigation and Pirate Emporium on. For banners, for island banners, I use slimline because it's less distracting. I have lower banner style full, outpost location banners on, and disable invite notifications off. Now for name visibility, I have them all off because there's no point in me hiding my gamer tag. For nameplates, I have show nameplates above my crewmates on, show nameplates above other crews on, show nameplates above fish on, and crew status tags on. For seasons, I have disabled season notifications off, and for milestones, I have both of these disabled because they are very annoying whenever you start an Hourglass match. Alright, now we're getting to the good and most important settings, our video and graphic settings. For video settings, I recommend using DirectX 12 unless you have an older CPU. But if you have a decent CPU, decent computer, I would use DirectX 12. Multi-core rendering on. Use whatever your recommended native resolution is what I would use. I use 2K. I have display mode full screen, VSync on. I have my brightness at 60 and my color contrast at 40. I have my frame rate locked at 144. You may think, why don't you have it off? Because you get more frames. The reason for this is Sea of Thieves likes to have a lot of frame drops. Technically, the recommended amount of frames Rare said to use would be 120 FPS, but I personally cap at 144, so I'd rather just use that for a little bit more frames. I have performance encounters, FPS and ping showing. That makes it where you can see your FPS and ping in the top left corner. I have buffering at double, resolution scaling at 100, GPU crashing detection off, and auto skip intro animatic off. Alright, on to graphic settings. For graphic settings, I have my field of view at 110. This is more preference. I just really like 110 FOV, but if you want like a good middle ground, if you don't want to use 90 and you don't want to use 110, a good middle ground is around 103 to 105. These are usually really good. I think 103 is what Overwatch is on default. Not 100% sure, but I think that's what it is. So 103 is good, but I just personally like 110. I would recommend keeping Canon around 85 to 95. Whatever your field of view is what you want your capstan override to be. Harpoon launcher, I would just keep as same as Canon. But whatever your field of view is, I would recommend keeping the rest as at max, or whatever your, like if your FOV is 105, have this at 105. Have ladder, sail, water barrel, wheel override, have all of those at 105. For my graphic settings, I use custom because I have cursed on everything except model detail. Model detail is where you can like see stuff in the water from farther away. If you have this on cursed, you won't really be able to see stuff in the water from far away. And I like to have everything else off because whenever you have everything else off, the game's a lot brighter. It's a lot easier to see. But if I were to turn all of these graphic settings to like higher graphics, then you can see the game's a lot, you get less frames, the game's a lot darker, there's more shadows. It's just less optimal for Hourglass. Now, if you're just sailing Season Adventure, I would recommend using better graphics just because it looks nicer. But for me, I run curse settings except model detail. Now, there is a bug where if you're in the water on curse settings, then you can't see above the water. To fix this, go into your graphic settings, go to water detail, put it up to rare, and then back down to curse, and keep doing that until you can see through the water. Water detail, just keep changing it to above rare and back down to cursed. See how I did that? Just if your water is on curse, because it looks good above the water, but whenever it's on curse, you can't see through the water at the bottom. All you have to do is you just, like what I did there, you just go all the way up to mythical and back down to curse and keep doing that until it works. And now you have cursed water, but you can still see from under. The rest of graphic settings, for visibility, I would disable blur, disable screen shake, and disable rats on your ship. Disabling rats is kind of optional. I just don't want to see the rats on my boat. Disable blur is good, and disable screen shake makes it whenever you shoot cannons that it is a lot smoother. As you can tell, if you shoot a cannon with screen shake on, your screen shakes a lot. It's a lot harder to hit cannons. If you turn it off, then whenever you shoot cannons, it is very smooth. There's no screen shake. For the last graphic settings, I use green-red color blindness. I'm not colorblind at all, but green-red at 1.0 looks very nice in game. Because without it, it just looks a lot more bland. This is like normal Sea of Thieves. But I've gotten used to using this. So I just keep it on green-red 1.0. It makes the game look a lot better. And then I have my saturation level at 1.0, my high contrast kill markers off, and my high contrast X marks the spot off. For my audio settings, I use master volume at 50. Music volume at 0. The reason I keep my music off is the Hourglass music plays during the entire fight, and it is very distracting, and you can't hear boards very well, so I would recommend turning this off if you're doing Hourglass. If you're doing Adventure, then yeah, keep this on, because it's more, I like it more with music on during Adventure. For Shanty volume, I have it 30, and SFX volume, I have it 30. Now, my PC is at 80 volume, so this might be different for everyone. Just do it with how you like it. My audio output format is headphones. Crew chat volume is 80. Crew chat output, headphones. Proximity chat volume at 80. Proximity chat directional. This will make it where whenever someone is talking in game, you hear them in your left or right ear. Push to talk, hold. Player chat indicator on. You want your player chat indicator on because this shows whenever you're talking in game, the green thing shows up in the top right to make sure you know you're talking. Mute copyrighted audio off. Set audio output to mono off. Enable additional wheel turning sounds. I have that on and I have that at 50. What this does is whenever you're turning the wheel, it's making these extra dink noises. I just started using this because I have to get used to the noise. I don't really like it that much, but it helps you whenever you're like downstairs and someone boards you. If they're turning your wheel, it is very easy to hear the noise, so you can come up and kill them. That's the reason I use it. And then I have enable aim assist audio on. This is a lot of people have asked me in the comments what that noise is whenever you hit someone. Like whenever you snipe someone and it makes like that pop noise. That's what this is. This makes it whenever you snipe someone, it makes a really louder it makes a louder noise than normal. Enable vomit sounds I have on. Music hit notification volume is 50. This is whenever you hit a boat with a cannonball. It's the music. So you can have it up if you want. I keep mine at 50. And extend audio range of sea rocks when sailing. Have this off because this is very annoying. And for our last setting, it is just the matchmaking setting. This is disable cross-region matchmaking. If you have this on no, then that means you can be queued in Hourglass to different servers. So I'm in a East. If I have this on no, that means I can queue into NA West servers and like any other server. Now the only downside to this is there's a chance of you having higher ping because you're going to be getting into different regions. But the good thing about it is you'll be getting a lot quicker queues and better fights because you'll be fighting people that aren't on your stamp, as well as your stamp. Now, if you have this on yes, that means you will only stay on NA East for me, and you will have good ping, but you will only be fighting people that are on your stamp.